Hello everyone, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us. We're tracking Tropical Cyclone Lucas to the northwest of New Zealand and a lot of high pressure in the New Zealand area. We've got the forecast for you right up until Sunday. Let's kick off with the Tuesday animated wind map. This is Cyclone Ana and that is Cyclone Lucas, both category 2 when this was taken. This system's falling apart as it moves down. You can sort of see it's lost its perfect circular centre. It's running into wind shear due to high pressure that's basically just cutting the top of it apart. Further away though, coming out of the Coral Sea, is Cyclone Lucas. It actually started way out over here, crossed over Queensland, it's deepened into a cyclone, category 2. It might get to 3. It's in this area which is a good breeding area for tropical cyclones. Vanuatu and New Caledonia, both exposed to a direct hit from the system, but it's likely to come in and do a bit of a turn as it tracks over the next day or so. Here is the tracking from the Joint Typhoon Warning Centre. It shows Port Vila sort of on the outer edges of it. That could change a little bit if the storm moves just a little further eastwards, which they often do. Once it curves around, it puts Noumea in New Caledonia exposed. The estimation is it'll be around a category 2, maybe category 1 if you're a bit luckier, as it turns around and comes on in. So a rainmaker, a wind maker, and it will be churning up the seas as well. Will it come to New Zealand? Not likely. This is the next 7 days, the next week of rain in New Zealand. Basically nothing falling in most of the North Island. The only area with a bit of rain caught up in the easterlies could be 15 millimetres or so coming in around Mahia Peninsula, Northern Hawke's Bay area, if that. In fact, it might only be a couple of millimetres. It just depends on when they sort of line up. But basically the North Island's completely dry, as is most of the south. The dark blue, that's just 0.1 to 2 millimetres over the next 7 days. So basically nothing. The west coast has a little bit of rain, mainly down around Fiordland, and even that is only around 30 or 35 millimetres. So very dry for the next several days. We're right in the peak of summer though, so that's to be expected. Here's the setup for Wednesday. So Ana gets quite close to New Zealand, but that's about as close as it gets. It could drive in bigger swells coming into New Zealand from that northeast corner. This is Lucas coming in now to New Caledonia. It is weakening as it does so. Again, the same reason that Ana is weakening, high pressure in this region pushing back against it. Big bubble of high that we've seen often in northern New Zealand for the last couple of years, still around, even though this one's centred down towards the Southern Ocean. Speaking of the Southern Ocean, it's a lot quieter down there than it was a couple of weeks ago. We're not expecting too much drama down there for a wee while. So the high pressure system on Thursday continues to push back across New Zealand. Cyclone Lucas stuck there very close to New Caledonia. Another storm out here to the western side of Aussie. They're getting a lot of rain around Western Australia at the moment. By the end of the week, look at Australia. They've got lows all around it at the moment. What a difference to a year ago. I mean, all the big bushfires a year ago, all the major droughts. This year we're seeing rainmakers coming through all over the place, but New Zealand's still stuck under high pressure. Now the remnants of Cyclone Ana, way out here to the east, dropping some showers. Those are the showers we just saw around Northern Hawke's Bay, that Mahia area. So there's a very fine line on exactly where they'll line up. There's a lot of high air pressure down here pushing back against it. So it's going to be a little bit patchy whether those showers really come in and do very much. And then we go further into the weekend, you can see high pressure still dominates around the south of New Zealand. We've got the remnants of Lucas sort of drifting towards Brisbane as a very weak system. And another low starting to form up here on Saturday. This one may well turn into a cyclone because our final map here for Sunday shows that system there forming again right next to Fiji as a potential tropical cyclone this coming Sunday. Afterwards, in another week or so, there's some potential that the remnants might come down, but we talked about that a couple of weeks ago with Cyclone Ana, and it's not even getting close to us other than a few showers around Hawke's Bay. So we'll, reserve judgment for now. These highs over New Zealand, they are very dominant. A lot of low pressure up here continues on. La Nina has now peaked, but we're going to be getting the effects of it for another couple more months just yet. Speaking of La Nina, speaking of the climate, we've got our Climate Watch video update coming out today as well. So if you're curious to see how the month of February is shaping up, please take a look out for that video. It should be on the Weather Watch and Rural Weather websites and on YouTube a little bit later on today. That's all from me. We'll see you again on Wednesday.